Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, how are you? If you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back. So this week is Aromantic Awareness Week, and as someone whose channel is all about the lesser known and lesser talked about communities within the LGBTQ+ community, I'm going to be putting out a bunch of aromantic content this week. Starting with this video where I'm going to be talking about what aromantics wish you knew about being aromantic. I asked a bunch of my followers on the community tab of YouTube, Threads, and Twitter what they wish people knew about being aromantic, and I got a bunch of responses. There were some common ones, so if you don't necessarily see your comment, it's not because I didn't want to use it, it's just other people were also saying it as well. So, without further ado, let's get into what aromantics wish you knew about being aromantic. First, I wish they knew that we exist. Lol. Second, we're not robots, we have feelings and emotions. We can feel many kinds of love and get attached to other people in many ways. What we lack is just the romantic attraction. Please don't hurt us. Last, never say to an aromantic something like, but I thought you fell in love for the first time, usually implying with them that's extremely aphobic. Yeah, this is just a couple of the biggest misconceptions that I personally see about the aromantic spectrum. The fact that people genuinely don't know that aromanticism is a thing. Yeah, this is something that I definitely see a lot. There's a lot of aromantic erasure that goes on. A lot of people just don't know about it in general. So yes, aromantic people do exist. And this second one, that we're not all robots, that we feel different kinds of attachment or love, that was a lot of comments that I was getting. So it's definitely something that is prevalent within the aromantic community. And I'm sure that a lot of aromantic people wish the wider population knew about being aromantic. Just because you don't have that romantic attraction does not mean that you don't feel other kinds of connections. You just don't feel or feel very little of romantic attraction. That being aromantic doesn't automatically mean asexual. Also, I could never just tell anyone anything to sleep with them, then never talk to them again. Great, neither could I. Thanks for not asking. Oh my god, do people actually say this to aromantics? That's so bad. Because again, it's a very big stereotype for aromantics who do feel sexual attraction, that they're users or they don't really care about the person that they're having sex with and that kind of thing. And like, yeah, don't say that to someone who's aromantic ever. It's not okay. There's a difference between being aromantic and not feeling the romantic attraction and just being a fucking asshole. There's a difference, bruh. And yes, asexuality and aromanticism are two separate things. There are people who are both, but you shouldn't assume that an aromantic is also asexual and vice versa. Amnormativity sucks and makes everything so much harder for me. Not everyone needs a romantic relationship to be happy, and not everyone can feel happy in a romantic relationship. This is literally so valid. There's so much pressure in our society to like couple up and have a romantic partner, especially when it comes to media and getting told from a very young age what that should look like, and you are constantly told that you are one half of a whole. But it's just not realistic for everyone. Not everyone feels the attraction, not everyone wants to be in a relationship, and like this person said, not everyone is happy in that kind of relationship structure. And it's just so interesting to me that society has based so much of people's happiness on having that one other person. And I feel like it should be more community based. Obviously, again, not everyone wants to have that, but just having it be like, oh, your only community can be your partner and that's it, which I feel like is a very big message that a lot of people in my generation have gotten. When you exist outside of that, it can feel really, I don't want to say lonely because it's not that. It can feel isolating because you're perfectly fine not being in that kind of relationship structure or wanting a relationship, and you're happy, but other people are like, what are you doing? Just stop judging people. Don't think everyone needs to be in a relationship to be happy, and don't try to force someone to do something that they don't want to do. Being aromantic isn't some inherently tragic thing. Yeah, I feel like that's something that when you tell allo-romantic people, they're like, oh my god, like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? They literally can't fathom the idea that someone just doesn't have romantic attraction. Obviously, it's because they don't experience not having romantic attraction, and it can be a little hard to put yourself in that position if you do feel it. But it really isn't this inherently tragic thing like this commenter said. Just because someone doesn't feel romantic love doesn't mean they aren't capable of having that desire and connection and closeness with someone else or a group of people. Stop thinking that if an aromantic doesn't feel romantic attraction, they can't feel any other emotion. It's ridiculous. It's not okay. And you're literally just reducing a human being down to what they can romantically give another person, and that's no. Being aromantic doesn't mean we don't experience love at all or are lonely. There are loads of other kinds of love that we experience just as intensely. This. I also feel like there's a big misconception with aromantics because they don't feel romantic attraction. They don't feel other kinds of love intensely, which is not true. If anyone out there has ever had a friend breakup, a platonic breakup, a QPR breakup, you know that those feelings are still just as intense, just as raw, just as fucking valid as a romantic breakup. And honestly, sometimes those kind of connections can hurt more than a romantic relationship because there is a difference of what we put into platonic friendship, QPR, as opposed to a romantic relationship. But it can be just as intense. And people don't really want to talk about that. And honestly, let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see me do a video on friendship breakups or platonic breakups and how to deal with it, because not a lot of people talk about it. People always talk about how to get over a romantic breakup and how to detach yourself from someone that you were romantically involved with, and they don't really ever talk about how to do that with a platonic connection. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. That could be a potential helpful video for some people. Some of us can be aromantic and still have a high romantic libido. Also, we're not robots and have deep, meaningful relationships. Exactly. The same way that asexuals can have a high libido and still be asexual, aromantics can have a high romantic libido and still be aromantic. There are still romantic coded things that some aromantics are completely okay with. There are other things that aro people just aren't okay with. It literally just depends on the aromantic person, and that's why it's called the aromantic spectrum, because every single person who is aromantic will have a different connection to their aromanticism and what they're comfortable with and what they're not. That's why you can never really assume with these kinds of orientations what's okay and what's not. It's individual based, and you should always ask an aromantic person, if you're interested in them, what their hard boundaries are and what they're okay with. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you wish people knew about being aromantic. Also, be sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe for more aromantic content this week. I'm going to be putting out a whole bunch, so be sure to click that subscribe button. Thank you all again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!